Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. And when a man love a woman and a woman love a man, a Jaja blessings. When I love you and you love me, a Jaja blessings. And when a boy love a girl and when a girl love a boy, a Jaja blessings. When I love you and you love me, a Jaja blessings. Love will always win, no matter what we do. Love will always win, no matter what we do. Love will always win, no matter what we do. Love will always win, no matter what we do. When a man love a woman and a woman love a man, a Jaja blessings. When I love you and you love me, a Jaja blessings. And when a boy love a girl and when a girl love a boy, a Jaja blessings. When I love you and you love me, a Jaja blessings. Love will always win. Listen to me. Love will always keep me in serenity. Love will always be strong in my heart. Keeping the vibes up. When a man love a woman and a woman love a man, a Jaja blessings. When I love you and you love me, a Jaja blessings. When I used to be on the show, man. When a boy love a girl and when a girl love a man. Yo, I miss singing. I could tell you that. I miss being on the stage performing like I used to do back in the day. I do miss singing. That was one of my first loves. Singing was one of my first love. I went up to number 5 on the reggae chart back in 1989, 1990. Those who know. Those who don't know, you're now learning. Love always wins. Mm. T for two and two for T. Love always wins. Big up to Victor. That name Bolingo, something that his father came up with, Dr. Sebi. That is a loving energy. That is a love energy. So anything you do, sir, you must do it with love. Anything you say, you must say it with love. Not everybody's going to agree with you. Not everybody's going to be on your side. But if you do it with love, love always wins. Believe that. Love always wins. And I take that from your father, Dr. Sebi, who I used to talk to personally over the phone. Love always wins. And big up to him and his great soul. He's definitely been one of my guiding lights over the years. You know, one of the sayings, there's an old saying that says, find your unity in your service to all. Find your unity in your service to all. And my service to the world is to numerovate you, to take you to a better place. And it does deal with work. It's just like when it came down to people like Dr. Sebi or Dr. Africa, it takes work to try to help people to understand the importance of their health, because they loved you to teach their perspective of what we call health, and what they was deep studies of. I am an adept in numerovation, and when you're an adept don't mean you have to be initiated by anybody or anyone, because I wasn't initiated or given any certificates for this. Adept is one who is initiated by life's lesson. When you become an adept, you're initiated by life's lesson. So I learned through my numerovation to include my lessons in life, that it can serve the greater purpose for other people, and the things that I've studied around from all the religions and ways of life that I've been through, studying Moorish science, studying Nation of Islam, studying the Rastafari movement, studying under Christianity as a family, studying the Wapians, studying Ansar, studying all the different things. And once I learned that word adept is not just given to people that are initiated under any particular system, it's being initiated under life and the things that we live on a daily basis, and being willing to turn those lessons into loving blessings. You got to learn to turn what you've gone through, whether it's good or bad or indifference, and turn them into loving lessons so you can serve the greater purpose or the greater community, whether you serve in your own family, which is good, but you got to serve yourself so you can serve your family, and then in turn, that family serves the community. This is a good book. Those who remember the great Suzar, I believe she's still alive. I don't know. I know she disappeared off of the scene from the late 90s, Suzar. This book is called The Great Black Mama of Creation. Very good book to have. I have that one, and I was reading this one before I went to bed last night. Black Empowerment Survival Guide Now by Suzar. Suzar was an excellent sister. I never got to meet her because she basically left the scene and disappeared. I understand that, Dr. Blair used to tell us that Suzar went to Peru. And if anybody know of Peru, Peru is supposed to be one of the highest points of the earth. So, there's they're very high above sea level, according to on this side of the world. But I heard that she disappeared into Peru and she never wanted to come back. I hope that people wherever this book is being produced, I hope it's being she's receiving funds for it. Keep her alive, keep her well, because she was a very powerful sister, Suzar. Suzar. If you get a chance, go check her out on YouTube. Very powerful sister. She had locks, head wrap, teaching hard, very slim, down to earth sister back in the day. So I used to watch her on. I started watching her more on YouTube, but I remember having a video of Suzar. And if I could find that DVD or that video, I will upload it. Of course, I'm not going to put any, charge on it, because I know how important that information that Suzar was giving us, especially about the Black Mama of creation. Suzar was turning over this madness of European control and the masculine European energy that they kept on throwing at us. So Suzar was a powerful energy. I don't know her birthday. I wish I did, but when I look at her numbers, Suzar, when you break down the numbers in the Chaldean system, the letter S adds up to a number 3, the letter U adds up to a number 6, the letter Z adds up to a number 7, the letter A adds up to a number 1, and the letter R adds up to a number 2, which equals 19, which is a 10, which is powerful for under the mystical older melanated system of the Chaldean. Her name, Suzar, is the number 19. And today is the 10th, but 19 equals 10. 1 plus 9 equals 10. So it's not ironic. It's not coinky-dink that I decided. And I never broke down her name. This is the first time I'm ever breaking down her name from a numerovational perspective. So her name 19 in numerology, remember the number 19 is the number of the sun. And the sun, her name, her frequency is to shine light onto things that's been kept in the dark. And this book have shined light in things that have been kept in the dark by the great Suzar. So if you get a chance to get it, you might be able to order it at, African World Press. African World Press. Take the number down, 410. They're the distributors, Black owned, operated in Pennsylvania Avenue, Baltimore. 410-383-2006. That's 410-383-2006. They do retail and they do wholesale of this book. So if you want to buy it wholesale, which I'm thinking about getting some stuff from him, because he used to sell my books. I think he still sells my books. But his name is Nati, Brother Nati. And if you call there and tell him King Simon told you to go get some books, African World Books, 410-383-2006. Somebody just put it up in there. So that's good. Somebody just put it up there. Very good book from somebody whose birthday, I don't know her birthday. And when you don't know the person's birthday, then you look at the name. But the name reveals the gift, talents, and skills that person could possibly have. And without a doubt, because her name in the Chaldean system adds up to 19, 19 is the number of the Alpha and Omega, but it's a number of the sun, according to the symbolism. But sun is here to shine light onto things. It's also the number of universe. If you read my book, I talk about that in my book also, the number 19. And since Suzar's name was added up to the number 19, let's talk about it. It's the symbol, the number 19 is the symbol of final accomplishment from the Alpha to the Omega. In many studies, many older studies of numbers, 19 is known as one of the best combination of numbers in numerology, and it is a highly favorable number, and also known as a karmic number. The number 19 people can be self-confident, innovative, paradigm shifter, and can be very creative leaders that must see things to their conclusion. In order for them to be successful, number 19 people should avoid indecisiveness and second guessing themselves at all costs. Then I go on to say that in the tarot, known as the sun in the tarot, in the study of tarot, it is a number of attainment, liberation, and marriage. It is also called the prince or the princess of heaven. It is a number of honor, happiness, success, esteem, and promises great achievement for plans for the future. It's in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. You can get it on Amazon or go to my link tree right here on the profile section of my thing. But her name, Suzar, in the Chaldean system adds up to the number 19. And her name, Suzar, in the Pythagorean system, because I look at things from a holistic perspective. The S is a 1. The U is a 3. The Z is an 8. The A is a 1. And the R is a 9. And that adds up to the master number 22. So Suzar in the Pythagorean system adds up to a number 22, master number. No doubt she is and was. She hasn't transitioned, not that I know of. She disappeared off the scene back in the late 90s. But Suzar, the name, because I don't know her birthday, I went straight to the next me. Boom, boom. Somebody's trying to text me. I guess that's why my phone is trying to cut out. So her name, Suzar, in the Pythagorean system is a master number, which she was definitely a master woman. And because 22, the number 2 is a feminine energy. And then when you add the 2 plus the 2, which equals a 4, 4 is also a feminine energy of laying foundation. And sometimes they had to use some of their masculine energy because the flow lines of the number 4 are all masculine. When you create the shape of the 4, all those linear lines that are connecting the 4 are masculine, but it's a feminine number. Just saying that this woman had to be strong and had to be using her intuitive powers in order for her to accomplish great goals of writing books that could be very threatening. You know, Dr. Blair used to say, may he rest in peace, who was also born on the 13th, which is a 4. And Dr. Blair used to say that Suzar always contacted him to ask him to get out of America and come on out to Peru. And I believe if Dr. Blair would have done that, he wouldn't have suffered the health conditions that he went down. Because Dr. Blair had circulation problems, which the number 4 and the number 1 deals with the circulation. And he was an Aquarius. He was born February 13th, 1933. So he also suffered, remember, the sign of Aquarius rules circulation. So if you remember, Dr. Blair used to wear orthopedic shoes, big shoes, because his feet were swollen. And we tried to get him acupuncture. We tried to do the herbs. He wanted to do all of that, but to no avail. I don't know what exactly he passed on from, but I know Dr. Blair was suffering from a lot of lower extremities of circulation, right towards his circulatory energy, towards his ankle and his feet. And then he was an Aquarian, which rules that part, the ankle area, those areas that's what's connected to that part is ruled by Aquarius. And that's where Dr. Blair suffered from the circulation problems. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. So Suzar used to always try to call him and say, Dr. Blair, you need to go be in warm places like Peru. She was trying to get him to Peru. She loved him that much, Suzar. I remember the story that Dr. Blair told us. So before I have to get off of here, let me get right into the topic. You've seen I showed this cup. So this says, love always win. Love always win. I got organic Lipton black tea. Love always win. 10-10 energy connected to 20, which equals a number 2 frequency. Love always win. Now, in the study of numbers, or in the study of eyesight, 10-10, if you're constantly seeing that, let's say that, but if you use the study of eye vision, 10-10 is usually a higher level of insight and someone that can see further than what you are seeing when you have 2020. So 2020 is known as a good vision for amongst humans, but 1010 is amongst the eagles and the falcons and the birds of prey that are able to see for miles or see for at least a mile their prey before the prey even recognize that it's there. So the birds of prey are the ones that have the eagle or the falcon energy. The 1010, they have that energy. They have that eyesight. So if the number 10 in what we call tarot or what we call compound numerology is the Wheel of Fortune energy, according to tarot. If it's the Wheel of Fortune energy, when 1010 is seen, it is an indicator. It's an indicator that it's about the total, complete evolution and manifestation on a higher phase of your evolutionary life because of the 1 and 0. And because 10 equals 20, which equals the 2, like many people know, if you've studied me, 20 is 10 and 20 to me are master number potentials, because anything that 0 follows brings potential to it. Brings higher potential, and it can bring the lowest potential because it deals with extremities. So anytime the 0 follows a number, or the 9 follows a number, because 9 and 0 can be very synonymous because they reflect the number that it comes from or the number that it follows, especially when you add it up. So, please do not disrespect my life by throwing up anything else other than what the subject is. Because if you're doing that, then I will delete you off the live and block you from my broadcast. The subject is love always wins with 1010 energy connected to 20, the frequency of the number 2. I'm not answering any questions about your personal. This is in general, and this is for the masses. I'm a true Aquarian. The needs of the many outweighs the need of the one. And if you can't respect that, get off of my life. Do not ask me any questions about your individuality, because individuality is an illusion. Everything is interdependently working together. So, getting back to the subject. Love always wins. There's a radio station in New York called 1010 Wins. 1010 Wins. It used to be a musical station before it became a news station, telling the news. And they have been the most successful news station for years on the AM dial. Because 1010 is the Wheel of Fortune, and that Wheel of Fortune only stays and sticks with you if you're willing to circulate your energy, if you're willing to see beyond regular sight, because 1010 is an acute vision. You have to see beyond sight. So people that constantly see 1010, or people that are born on the 1010 vibration, should learn to see beyond regular sight, which then leads you to a ultimate understanding of where you need to go and how you need to go. Because the eagles that have 1010 vision, and the falcons that have 1010 vision, and those major birds of prey that have 1010 vision are the ones that are able to see their prey for miles, or for at least a mile, and go and make it happen and find it. So 1010 is one of those vibrations and energies that, because it adds up to the number 20, and in compound numerology, and I talk about that in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, The number 20 is the symbol of divine awakening, clear judgment in numeration. It's the number known. It's the number 20 is known as a master number potential because, like I said, the zero adds infinite power and potential and extremities behind every number that it follows. The number 20 is the number of cooperation, being friendly, intuitive, forgiving, extremely loving because the zero adds extremity behind that too. In the tarot, it's called the judgment card. It depicts resurrection and renewal as a man and woman and child arises from the tomb with their hands clasped in prayer, reflecting rebirth of the spirit. That's what 20 represents. So 1010 that adds up to 20 deals with rebirth of the spirit. But it is also the number of divine awakening. So this is a good day to be awakening to some of your thoughts that are deep within you and be of clear judgment and clear discernment on how you use those thoughts. Because 20 is also the number of some great purpose, some awakening to some new purpose, some new ambition, some call to action. So although people born on 1010 can use this, I want to say happy birthday to Queen Esther's daughter, who was born 1010, born today. Jalila, I forgot her name, but it starts with a J. But just know because it adds up to 20, just know that because it adds up to 20, 20 is not so much dealing on the worldly side or the material side, but it has to bring balance to both sides. So when you see 1010, which adds up to a 10, adds up to a 20, it's about having the acute vision, having the wheel of fortune, but also having the awakening vibration also with it. So you have a multitude of interpretation that can help take you to the next numerovational plateau of who you are. That's why I do numerovation and I don't just do numerology. I use the principles of numerology and the principle of motivation so I can help you to activate and maximize your number, but it's going to take work on your part. Because if your potential self is infinite, then many of us, including myself, has held ourselves back because energy is infinite. Energy is infinite. That's why the so-called scientists of old and the scientists of new can say energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. And since all of us have an energy in us, that means your potential self beyond this is infinite. Put some hand claps in that chat, man. Put some hand claps. That's a download, baby. That's downloaded. So love always wins because 1010 energy connected to the number 20 is a loving and extreme loving energy. Anybody connected to the 20 or the 2 or the 11 or the 29th have problems with relationship because people that they deal with don't understand the love that they have to offer. So even if you're born in the month of February or November, those two energy are connected to the 2 or the 11 is connected to the 2, and they love people as a general quote unquote rule in numerology. Those are the people that go through a lot of emotional stuff, especially with family and relationship in the early parts of their life. So if you're born in the second month or the 11th month, because they add up to the number 2, that is another loving, balanced companionship and compassionate energy that you have to pay attention to because you're born in those months. Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers?
Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%. Or prosperous righteous teachers. We gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class. It's the Numerovational Session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022, and get my books on Amazon now.